Live with studios in Midland and Odessa, you're watching CBS7 First Alert News at 9 on the CW West Texas.
People in a mood because they're coming and they're seeing these houses that are decorated for Christmas, the lights, Santa on Saturdays, the Christmas tree farm that's there, and it just gets them in that holiday spirit and the shopping mood. And
Starbright Casitas, Starbright Village, a local Christmas tree farm. We hope you're in the holly jolly mood because we've got a lot of stories on the holiday season coming up here on CBS 7 News at 9 on the CW. Thank you all for joining us here at 9, and thanks to those of you who are joining us live on our CBS 7 YouTube page. I'm Jay Hendricks. Topping our news, Midland Public Safety officers are trading sirens for bells. Midland Police Department is taking on Midland Fire Department to see who can collect the most money for the Salvation Army. MPD collected money from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. today from shoppers at the Market Street on Midkiff Road. The fire department will have their chance to beat the amount raised at the same spot next week.
Always important for us to get out and support our community. I mean, you hear so much bad stuff and you only see the negative stuff. Okay, so it's important for us as a police officer to come out and support our community, to give back.
A full day of bell ringing can bring in anywhere from $750 to $1,000, and all of that money benefits members of the community.
All the money that we raise through the Red Kettles here in Midland stays in Midland, so it goes to help our neighbors in need here in Midland County. We have a lot of other things that we do besides the shelter.
The police department saw a lot of generosity from Midlanders today, and they are feeling pretty confident of their chances against the fire department. A known voice in the Permian Basin is accepting toys, food, and clothing and more items. What used to be a 3-day, 24/7 event is now adjusting to a new format. The West Texas Radio Group is bringing back MASH after years of being absent. MASH, of course, stands for Making a Special Holiday, and it benefits those who are hungry or who are going through domestic violence. The West Texas Radio Group consists of radio stations like Kix 99.1, 97 Gold, and 95X. They say they're very fortunate to be able to spend the holidays with family while eating big meals. However, some in the Permian Basin may not have that privilege.
You know, in the society we live in today, it's just unacceptable for somebody to go without, especially being hungry. And all we try to do as a group is help wherever we can.
Some of the items collected for the West Texas Food Bank include bread, cakes, turkeys, and more. They also received clothes, a small bike, and basic hygiene items for the safe place of the Permian Basin.
You know, we are fortunate to live where we live. We are one of the most giving societies in the world. We really are. The Permian Basin is just beautiful. So for the people that are less fortunate, yeah, that's all we want to do. We want to make sure that we help them out.
If you missed out on today's event, you can still come by tomorrow or Saturday to drop something off from the hours of 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Nobody knows when it started, but one of the longest standing Christmas traditions, Christmas trees. And one local company has been helping West Texans find their perfect tree called Oregon's Trail of Trees. They bring in their trees from, you guessed it, Oregon. For over 40 years, Oregon Trail Trees have been giving West Texans the option of getting that real Christmas tree. They come in different sizes, colors, and species, from a noble, Douglas, or Nordman fir. The preparation to get these trees started 6 months ago in June when Joe Smith, the former owner of Oregon Trail Trees, spent weeks picking out which ones he wanted to give to West Texans. Once fall arrives, they cut them and bring them to West Texas for customers to get ready for the holidays.
And then people got to wanting them that weekend of Thanksgiving, so we unloaded on Thanksgiving Day, and that was hard finding a crew to unload on Thanksgiving. And customers' requests pushed us to we unload the weekend before Thanksgiving. And that weekend, the weekend before Thanksgiving and Thanksgiving weekend are super days, 200 trees a weekend.
And if you're looking for a white Christmas, La Casa Verde has you covered, kind of. The Midland Nursery, La Casa Verde, offers what is known as flocking, which means they are adding a white powdery dust to your Christmas tree to give it that snow-covered look.
A lot of people are from the northern parts of the country and miss having trees with snow on them, and it brings back a lot of memories. Flocking also used to be very popular in the 70s and 80s, and and more people are actually going back to it.
There are still plenty of snow-covered or regular pine green trees available from Oregon Trees. Time now to talk your weather forecast. Chief Meteorologist Tom Teefer-Teller joined us now. We spent the evening tonight helping to light the community Christmas tree in downtown Odessa. The holiday season now off and rolling. Tom, the weather not too bad. That is until the sun went down.
That's exactly right, and things became a little bit chilly out there, and that's what we're dealing with right now. High temperatures today, though, they were up there a little bit as we saw readings into the mid to upper 70s. But look at those 80s out towards Pecos, Fort Stockton. 81 degrees this afternoon. We're cooling off a little bit as the tree is lit at McKinney Park and Starbright Village open for business right now as we're seeing temperatures cooling off a little bit to the upper 50s out there. But look at that, down in the mountains already cooling off to 45 in Marfa. So a little bit chilly on the Marfa Plateau. And taking a look at those winds, they are howling out towards Guadalupe Pass. Gust up to 48 miles an hour there. A little blustery across parts of the Permian Basin, adding to the chill. So plenty of breeze. Another day of mild temperatures before that next cold front whips through. And that's going to make for a chilly Jingle Bell Jubilee Christmas parade over in Midland coming up Saturday evening.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
The City of Odessa Christmas tree is lit at Starbright Village over at McKinney Park. Presenting sponsor for tonight's Starbright Village and tree lighting event was First Basin Credit Union. First Basin says giving back to the Odessa community is one of their core ideas behind their sponsorship. They say this helps the event stay free for all who attend, and it helps the city add new displays each year.
Continues to be just a great warm feeling to be able to give back, see all the kids there. We give out a lot of goodies while we're there, First Basin does, and it's just nice to see everybody ready to see Santa, see the Christmas tree lighting, and understand it's a free event too.
Starbright Village is an event that the company is proud to have in Odessa.
I don't think there's another lighting display for hundreds of miles that's as large and as grand as Starbright Village. To be a part of that and to be a partner with the City of Odessa just brings smiles on your faces. Who wouldn't want to be involved with an event that brings this kind of emotion and feeling to the season?
Starbright Village will remain open through the end of December. And an attraction all new to Odessa this year is Starbright Casitas. It's a 5-week local Christmas vendor market where members of the community can buy Christmas gifts for their loved ones. It's located, by the way, in downtown Odessa, across from the Ector Theater. City of Odessa teamed up with Sister Doe for this Christmas vendor village. They decided to bring the Casitas to Odessa to gather the community and simulate a Christmas village for the city.
The idea came up with adding the casitas, and we wanted it to be a market. We wanted to have Christmas lights. We wanted it to be really inviting for the community to come out. But then we're wanting to also tie it into the rest of the city, so to show our togetherness, our unity as one.
Santa will be at the village to take pictures on Saturday if you want to attend. And Tom mentioned this earlier, but on Saturday, December 9th, the City of Midland is hosting its Christmas parade. It's scheduled to begin at 6:30. We will bring that to you live Saturday night on KWWT My 30 starting at 6:45. Tomorrow is the 21st Feast of Sharing celebration. Ahead of that dinner, HEB was out delivering meals through Odessa's Meals on Wheels. In fact, the Feast of Sharing is from 4 to 8 at the Ector County Coliseum and is free and open to anyone in the community. But not everyone is able to go to events like this, so over 700 holiday meals were delivered this morning to homebound seniors.
725 meals being delivered to our homebound residents, so they too can be a part of the Feast of Sharing and have a seat at the table.
By the way, I will be there tomorrow for Feast of Sharing. That's at the Ector County Coliseum. Tune in at 5 and 6 o'clock for a look at the feast. We have a traffic alert for you out of Midland County. Tomorrow, the eastbound right lane from Midkiff to State Highway 349 will have slow rolling traffic from 10 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Then starting at 11:30 till 1, the westbound right lane will have a slow rolling traffic. These closures are the result of construction teams clearing dirt and debris from the roadway. A Texas judge has granted a pregnant 31-year-old woman permission to get an abortion despite the state's ban on abortion after 6 weeks of pregnancy. This is the first case where an actively pregnant person is asking a court for an emergency abortion since Roe v. Wade was decided in 1973.
I am going to grant the temporary restraining order for Ms. Cox, Mr. Cox, and Dr. Carson. The idea that Ms. Cox wants desperately to be a parent, and this law might actually cause her to lose that ability is shocking and would be a genuine miscarriage of justice.
Another story we are following for you tonight, the mayor of New York City asking the federal government to step in as he says migrants from the southern border continue to arrive in the city.
New York City needs help. The action on our national government has taken a toll on New York City. New Yorkers are angry. I join that anger.
The plea from the New York mayor comes as the number of migrants at the border surges again. In just 24 hours, more than 3,000 people tried to enter the U.S. at Eagle Pass, Texas. Now for a look at today's top headlines shown here in real time with real viewers at CBS7.com. You can see all of these stories and more by downloading our app or visiting our website at CBS7.com. Tonight is the start of Hanukkah, but the holiday is solemn for many as Israel and Hamas enter their third month of fighting. We have the latest from the war next here on CBS 7 News at 9 on the CW. The war between Israel and Hamas is now entering its third month of fighting. More than 130 hostages are still being held by Hamas, and Palestinians are suffering from a lack of essentials like food, water, and power, while they are finding there's almost nowhere safe to go. CBS's Natalie Brand has the latest from Washington.
As Jews worldwide celebrate the first night of Hanukkah, the holiday is solemn for families of hostages held in Gaza.
We are really praying very, very hard that this holiday will bring us the miracle that we are so waiting for.
In Gaza, Israeli specialist teams are combing through captured territory in hopes of finding hostages.
You need the right intelligence. We can do it. The special forces are there. They are waiting. They are together with the troops. It's the only thing on their mind.
Intense fighting that left large parts of northern Gaza in rubble has spread to the south, where Israel says it's now focusing its efforts on destroying Hamas's ability to rule the Palestinian territory and wage war. In Rafah, displaced Palestinians are seeking refuge in this vast camp, but people are running out of places to go. In a phone call with Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, President Biden stressed the need to protect civilians and allow them to move safely away from areas of fighting. On Capitol Hill, House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries addressed the growing humanitarian crisis.
It's important that we provide humanitarian assistance to Palestinian civilians who are in harm's way in Gaza through no fault of their own.
The UN estimates 1.9 million Palestinians, or about 80%, have fled their homes since the war erupted 2 months ago. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Washington.
Reuters reports that Israel has agreed to open the Kerem Shalom border crossing for the screening and inspection of the humanitarian aid delivered into Gaza through the Rafah crossing. That's according to a senior U.S. official. The move comes weeks after discussions in Washington. Soldiers of the southern Israel marked the first night of the Jewish holiday of Hanukkah by lighting the first menorah candle at their base. This year's holiday comes as many Jewish people feel traumatized by Hamas's deadly October 7th attack on Israel that is leading to the ongoing war. There has been a recent rededication among Jews to religion and culture as they unite in this time of war and growing anti-Semitism.
Hopefully we'll see miracles here where this war won't last however many days people think, but it's going to finish, and then we're going to see a time in the future where there's going to be only peace and only unity with the entire world.
The first night of Hanukkah is today, December 7th, and will continue through next Friday, December the 15th.
Well, we are starting to see lots of Christmas decorations here across West Texas as things are trying to warm up a little bit, but that all is going to come to an end this weekend. As a cold front arrives, we'll talk about its impact next.
Now, from the CBS7 First Alert Weather Center, here's Chief Meteorologist Tom Tiefertiller.
Starbright Village is open and will be open for the rest of the month every night from 6 to 11 o'clock. Let's take a peek outside right now where temperatures right at 60 degrees, but you add in that breeze we're dealing with, things are feeling a little cooler out there. But again, you'll see many beautiful sights like this right along the interstate there at McKinney Park. Taking a look at current temperatures across the area, we're into the upper 50s in the Midland. Out of the Midland National Air and Spaceport, 59 in Big Spring, and the cool spot, of course, Marfa Plateau right now looking at 45 degrees as we have next storm system starting to move in across Pacific Northwest. Now, a ridge of high pressure is bringing some nice conditions for us right now. Southerly winds helping warm things up, but all that's going to be replaced by this next storm system that's already kicking up the wind in some higher elevations out there across the Guadalupes and the Davis Mountains. Texas via the satellite and radar, again, we are looking at pretty quiet conditions. Had some high clouds here across West Texas and a few clouds across portions of the Texas Gulf Coast. But other than that, though, it has been a nice day with some fantastic temperatures area-wide, nothing too chilly, and into the 70s across many areas. Now, those futurecast cloud and rain loop here showing not much in the way of clouds, except to the early morning hours. May see across the southeast Permian Basin and the lower Trans-Pecos southeasterly winds bringing in enough moisture for some low cloudiness for the first part of the morning, clearing out by the afternoon. And then we're going to start to see a west wind really start to warm things up, rather gusty. High wind watches up across the Guadalupes and the Davis Mountains for tomorrow for gusts in excess of 50 miles an hour in a few spots. So we are expecting a breezy to windy day on the way to end the week. Rest of tonight, again, we'll see a little bit of breeze hanging around in the forecast. Not as cool, but still, though, down to the upper 40s overnight tonight. And tomorrow, mid to upper 70s on the way as southwest winds look gusty, strongest out of the west of the Pecos River for tomorrow up across portions of southeast of Mexico. That cold front arrives late Friday into Saturday, bringing some breezy conditions, but also colder temperatures just in time for the Jingle Bell Jubilee Midland Christmas Parade coming up Saturday evening. Looking for temperatures into the 40s, wind chill values into the 30s as we're expecting a chilly weekend. It looks like it's going to be a chilly weather pattern, may turn wet with another front middle part of next week.
Still ahead, ceremonies were held around the nation to commemorate the deadly bombing of Pearl Harbor. We bring you the sights and sounds of today's remembrances. Ceremonies were held around the nation to commemorate the deadly bombing of Pearl Harbor 82 years ago today. A 21-bell salute for the fallen was held at the National World War II Memorial in Washington, D.C. The attack killed more than 2,300 service members, launching the United States into World War II. At the annual Pearl Harbor Memorial event in Hawaii, 102-year-old survivor Harry Chandler recalled the bombing.
I saw the bombs being dropped on the harbor because we overlooked the harbor completely. And I saw the Arizona going up, saw the Oklahoma turning. Then they put us all in trucks and drove us all down into the harbor, and we started saving people.
With each passing year, there are fewer survivors. Chandler was one of 5 at the Hawaii ceremony. Still ahead, Pantone has been released as the color of 2024. We'll tell you what it is and why they chose it next here at 9. Before we go, if next year were a color, which would it be? Well, the answer is peach fuzz. That's according to the Pantone Color Institute. The self-proclaimed color experts describe the hue as peaceful and serene. Feel that? They call it warm, cozy, and even tactile answer to the world's turmoil. It's also in with fashion designers and Hollywood stars. Pantone says it uses psychology to pick a top color each year. This year's choice was peach fuzz. I'm not sure, how many people weigh in on this or how many they even look at, but this was the color they chose.
No, they've got a lot to choose from. There's like 16.7 million colors.
Okay.
So,
but I mean, somebody's got to look through 16.7 million
samples,
and
I decide what the year is going to be. I'd like to see the criteria on that, but anyway.
I'm sure this was calming, don't you think?
Yeah, it is very calming, okay? Yeah. Just look at that color. Anyway, though, we got a blue color coming up, and that's a cold front. It's going to happen late tomorrow night into Saturday, so the mild weather we're dealing with now, that's going to change dramatically this weekend.
All right, Tom, thanks. Thanks for joining us here at 9. More news tonight at 10.